Trouble after trouble for Antony Dos Santos. Manchester United have released an official statement concerning his future at the club. Dos Santos has been locked out of Carrington, whereas other players who did not take part in international duty have been back training. Antony Dos Santos has been told, don't you step at Carrington until you sort your issues. Well, this is a big breaking one, hot spot here to give it to you. Now, that is the official statement released by Manchester United. Brief as it comes, but as effective as you can expect it to be. Listen. Manchester United acknowledges the allegations made against Antony. Players who have not participated in international matches are due back in training on Monday. However, it has been agreed with Antony that he will delay his return until further notice in order to address the allegations. As a club, we condemn acts of violence and abuse. We recognize the importance of safeguarding all those involved in this situation and acknowledge the impact these allegations have on survivors of abuse. That is by the communications department as of today, Sunday the 10th of September 2023. So as it is, simply to give it to you, Manchester United have told Antony not to come back to Carrington until he puts his house in order, sorts himself out with the series of ex-girlfriends who are alleging that he manhandled them, he beat them, he physically tortured them. Guys, it is not looking good at all for Antony. It is bad. Now, we do know that Antony has obviously not been performing at the expectations of many at Manchester United, but his performances right now will not matter. What matters is his future. We don't wish him bad at all, but guys, I mean, if you commit a crime, you've got to, serve your time. Now, the reality is he's denying. He says he did not do this. Now, he came out and gave an interview to a Brazilian media, local media in Brazil, talking to them about what exactly happened with the girl who was saying, the ex-girlfriend who said he beat up on her, but he said, it's actually the girl who was trying to, break glasses and beat him up, but he went to her, tried to calm her down, and he gave his explanation. But of course, in cases like this, and this is, I was having a long conversation about, how the world is a bit, what should I say, not so kind to the man, to the boy child as it is to the girl child, understandably so, really. But women are naturally, the first instinct is to protect women naturally, even before you hear the detail. When a woman makes an allegation against you, the burden is on you to prove that it is not right. The burden of proof is on you to prove that it is not right. It is not the other way around, that he who alleges must prove. I think that works only when it's not a case of a woman and a guy. When it is a woman who has made an allegation against you, it is your burden to prove that it is not true. Yet, I think in law they say, he who alleges must prove. Now, in this case, the girl alleged that Antony Dos Santos did whatever he did, but it is upon Antony to prove that he did not do it. So it is her word against his evidence. So it's a tricky situation. But this is where we are. He's following the Mason Greenwood way, probably out of Manchester United. Usually it doesn't end well at all. Even if he goes on to win the case, and perhaps it is found out that he's the same case with Mason Greenwood. He's innocent, but he can't play for Manchester United. The damage was done. So it is a very difficult situation to be in right now, and I honestly feel for Antony Dos Santos and the rest of the Manchester United fraternity, because these things affect the whole ecosystem of the club. Everyone at the club is affected, because then the image of the club, people, I saw a GIF showing how Man United players are all convicts now. Next season the entire squad will be coming out of prison and all. I mean, it's a bad thing to the image of the club, really. But I think right now we shouldn't even be focusing on the club. I think the focus should be more on the individual Antony, because he's going through something and we don't know really whether it's true or not. We don't know who to believe, but the burden is on him. Like I said, when a woman puts up a case against you as a guy, it's your burden to prove that it is not right. That's the unfortunate bit. It is not a case of who he who alleges must prove. But that's where we are. So Antony Dos Santos has been told not to return for training until further notice. He's still in Brazil. He was, remember, dropped from the Brazilian squad. I mean, it's been, I think, a torrid time for him. One of the hardest, most difficult times of his career. He's young. He's 23, but you wonder what exactly is going to happen after this. I mean, right now all clubs will distance, themselves from you. Obviously, Manchester United will be put under pressure by that way because, first of all, Antony is not a fan's favorite. Manchester United lost a fans' favourite in Mason Greenwood, the way they did. And of course, there is a section of fans out there who are feeling it was wrong, bitter like me, who in their heart of hearts feel Mason Greenwood should have been given another chance at United. But of course, I like the fact that he was only loaned out, because then, for me, that shows there is chance. He's still a United player, so there is hope that he will be back and play for United, depending on how it goes at Getafe in 2024. So, maybe that, because understandably it will be difficult for him to come straight back and play at Old Trafford, to be honest. So probably it was the right thing for him. I like the fact that he's still our player. Now for Antony Dos Santos, not exactly a fan's favourite. People still bitter with how Mason Greenwood's situation was handled. This happens to a guy who was bought for a lot of money but has done a lot of nothing in that right wing. This happens to you. You're not the most popular, not to the pundits, not to the fans, not to anyone. I don't know so many people who are so fond of Antony. So it makes it difficult it's a difficult place to be in. I mean, it's the one person I wouldn't love to be right now is Antony Dos Santos. I think he can be sidelined. He will not get a lot of support from so many people. I think in terms of United supporters, I mean, it's tricky. It's tricky. I do hope it all goes well for him, but for me, I don't see him recovering from this. I think he's gone. So now the talk should be, with Antony out of the Man United squad, what does that mean? Is it an opportunity for Peristri or Jadon Sancho? It is believed that Erik ten Hag and Jadon Sancho are going to hold crunch talks tomorrow on Monday. So I'll give you that video of details of what's going to happen in the talks. What's the agenda of that meeting? What exactly are they going to talk about? Who will be there? I'll give you those details. So is it Jadon Sancho's time now, or is Sancho also going to, be getting his own share of the Erik ten Hag dossier? So it's a very tricky time, but there is nothing probably that can't be controlled. But the breaking news, guys, in case you're just joining this video, this is it. Antony Dos Santos has been told not to return to Carrington, not for now. That's an official statement released just less than 30 minutes ago by the club Manchester United. It is official. Dos Santos is not in the squad, and he's certainly slowly going to be phased out. Don't you be shocked if by tomorrow, early this week, you hear that United have put him down from their website. They have put him down from the squad. I mean, these things happen, and they will do it because the pressure is also there. Even if United would have wanted to handle this differently, the fact that there is a precedent with Mason Greenwood, people will expect that whatever Mason Greenwood went through, Dos Santos will go through. Perhaps for some who believe in that British and non-British card, they will think even for Dos Santos it will be worse because he's non-British. Mason Greenwood is British, but he went through what he went through. Of course, there is belief that there is a natural favoritism for British players. Now, for Mason Greenwood, he didn't say a lot of that. Now, what will happen to a Brazilian who is seemingly not performing? A Brazilian flop of sorts as it looks now. So, tricky situation for Antony Dos Santos there. But guys, the power of women, never underestimate the strength of a woman. We've got to be careful, and I think this is the beauty about football. Football teaches you a lot about life, and I feel if there is one thing young people, not just footballers but anyone, because these footballers are role models to the world. So, and for a club like Manchester United, followed by over 1 billion people, I think, in the world, the most supported club in the world, obviously the players there inspire a whole generation, and generations of people. The one thing you've got to learn from this story is you've got to be careful how you treat women and what you do when no one is seeing, because even walls, like they say, these days walls have eyes and ears, and you don't know who is watching and what can come out. I think you've got to be careful in this day and age with what you do, and it's never right for you to beat up on people, not just women, but beating up on children, on young, it can be your little brother, it can be your friend, But for women, it's even worse. You've got to be careful. These footballers are young. We understand. They are humans like us. They make mistakes. They have tempers. They tempers go off and flare and stuff. They have a lot of money. They are rich. They are loved by girls. Girls throw themselves at them. So they are in a difficult situation. And I believe completely, by the way, that I think part of the things my Uplift Causes organization I think should do is to create a section for footballers, and we try to help them, because I feel like they don't get a lot of support, because at times these allegations come out against them, they deny them, and eventually it is proved that they were right, they did not do these things, but somehow already the damage has been caused. And there are certain people who won't forgive you even if you say you are forgiven by everyone, you're innocent and what. You can imagine with Greenwood, the girlfriend, the family of the girlfriend, everyone forgave him, but the public didn't. The Man United supporters didn't. The moment United announced that they were planning to bring him back into the squad, you saw the uproar, and that's the reason he's at Hetafe right now. So I feel like these players need protection. The fact that they are professional and they can't talk now. I've had people complain, saying, why did Antony have to go to the press and talk about his situation when the case is in court? And I'm saying, this is the problem. These are things of the prima facie case and for me don't make sense at times, because I'm suffering. There are allegations against me that are career damaging, but I can't talk. Yet someone can go and talk. The accuser can go and talk, pretending to be the victim, but for some reason I can't talk. I think, it's a difficult. If you're him, you'd want to be heard, because you know what happened. So you'd want to be heard. So it's a difficult, situation. I've been through a situation with a woman before, and the two of us, when we would talk with this lady, and I won't give you details of what happened, but the two of us knew what happened. When there's no one else, it's me and her talking, she will even brag about how she is going to do everything to have me, punished, even if she knows she's lying. But when the public is there, everyone else, she will make it look like I'm the worst person. But so at times people have personal vendettas. Some of these girls can have personal vendettas for their own reasons. Maybe the girl wanted Antony, and Antony maybe was done with her, so she says she will do anything to bring him down. It happens because these footballers are loved by players. They give these girls by girls. They give them this earliest life, and when you dump her, who else is going to give her that kind of life? No one has the money these footballers have. So and I'm not saying Antony did not do this stuff, but what I'm saying is that history has it clear that these players have proved to be innocent before, but when the damage is already done, it's caused, the career is gone. Playing football at topmost level is so fragile. A small thing like this can cost your entire career. Your mental health, you can imagine the mental health of Antony. But what is happening to Antony right now, for me, I think, is a blessing in disguise, and this might sound mean, but I'm thinking it's a blessing in disguise to Mason Greenwood, because now the focus is off Mason Greenwood. There will be a bit of more sympathy on Greenwood, because now there's a new target in Antony Dos Santos. So I think we need to protect these players. These players are young. They are young boys who earn a lot of money. They need protection from these women who are preying. They are hovering around like vultures, waiting for the first opportunity to pounce and try to squeeze a pound out of them, a penny out of them. Because most likely this can end in an out-of-court settlement, and out-of-court settlements could mean maybe Antony has to cough millions and millions or hundreds of thousands of pounds to the girl. And so, for me, it's tricky, but that's where we are. Final time, just show you the statement. Manchester United have released an official statement on Antony Dos Santos, saying he can't return with the rest of the guys for training until he sorts his mess with the several girls who keep coming out to allege that he physically assaulted them. That's where we are. Hotspot, subscribe. My name is Webb. I'll catch you later with more Manchester United news. Don't you move a muscle.